because they have plenty of people that are well paid to know what the planning laws of this country are. It has been brought to their attention. Until we took a case through the local council, a Section 5 declaration, and then eventually to Bord Pleanála. Bord Pleanála ruled that they had broken the planning laws of this country. So now what they have done is gone in for retention of 7 transmitters. In the UK, if you break the law, you are told take it down and then apply for retention. But in this country, you can break the planning laws and then apply and try and get retention. So it's what I feel, by putting 19 different types of equipment up in that mess on the Clonmel Road, overlooking our 2 primary schools, the new creche in Donetsk, and also our secondary school. To have that amount of equipment overhead all those schools is criminal neglect. And it's no good in 10 or 15 years' time when we are told that all the studies now have come out and the precaution has been taken, and that we'll have to adhere to the Salzburg guidelines, which Barry already outlined, and Italy and China and Russia. It'll be too late. So it's up to everybody here themselves. The planning system, it's very hard. It's very hard to say to beat the system. And as the people in Kilmallogue know today, the planning authority granted planning permission. Even there was over 20-something objections went in against their mass being proposed. So the thing about the one in here in Care, we cannot object to the mast itself because it's pre-60 structure which is exempt from planning. But the only thing we can apply for is the extra equipment, and also the TSB, a legal body, can break the law. But this seems to be a common factor all over the country. But just to give you an example as well, in Newin, where the Maloney family are living directly underneath a mast and are also complaining of ill health. Aircom, another ex-semi-state body, put up a mast there without no planning permission. But there again, the council here, the enforcement officer Simon Howe, took an enforcement order against them, and they now have to go in for retention of another illegal structure. Also in Arabon Co-op in Newport, recently the council has served enforcement notices on both the Co-op and Meteor Telecommunications in relation to the development at Custom Gap Road, Jail Street, Tulla, Newport. Also the same thing, pushing up illegal things and then going in for retentions. It's very unfair. As I said, as ordinary citizens, all anybody looks for life is fair play. And if our government can't give us that, I don't know where our democracy is going. You have Bord Pleanála, who are supposed to be an independent body, who regard on the plan issue. When you go to them, they are supposed to be independent. For example, in Ballylooby, there was a mess recently granted planning permission by Bord Pleanála. When it went to Bord Pleanála, the inspector came out and did his final report. The inspector went into the planning office, looked through the file, visited the site in Ballylooby, and at the end of his report he stated that his recommendation was to refuse permission for the phone mast in Ballylooby. But the board decided to draw a line through his report and to overrule his report and grant permission. This is not the only case. In the last 3 months, there are seven other cases where Bord Pleanála have done something similar. So what I have here, if anybody wants them, I leave them over there. A standard kind of plan objection if they want to put in their own plan. And also, if they be kind enough, they can sign that book there. I leave over to put their name and address on it. And I can put in a group objection for everybody that wants to put their name and add it to the objection, which I'd appreciate if they wish to do themselves. As we have heard from Barry and all the scientists, there's plenty and plenty of research. As I said, when I got involved first, when I started reading all about it, I was very, very angry. And the more I read, the more I got concerned, and the more frightened I'm getting, more since. But I believe that it's not too far down the road that there is going to be legislation brought in to protect the citizens of the world. As Barry has explained, in Brussels recently, they have been told to reduce the power output from their antennas because the residents are complaining of ill health effects. That's in their own place. So, as I said, we hope that you would ask Barry. It's a privilege to have him here tonight, and it would be very, very helpful if you would have a few questions to give him, or even anybody here like Con from the Doctors Environment Association, or John Ryan, as you've known, who has given plenty of talks around the country on his experience regarding the phone mast. So if we could, for another half an hour at least, that if we couldn't get questions and answers, I'd appreciate it. And also, I just forgot to acknowledge the Innis people who had a similar situation in Innistown, where